How's it going, my friends? So, in the last few years, I've noticed that all my planes go only in one direction. And it's a bit weird and strange, I know, but they seem to go only in the direction of the blade. Now, it would make a lot of sense that they would go only in the direction of the blade, but I was wondering, I mean, you have planes that go on the backstroke, you have planes that go on the forward stroke. Why not have both? So this is the question I want to answer in this video. And the answer would be that's a stupid idea. I mean, it will go against the grain, it will be more expensive, more parts, more tune-up. There really is no reason to have this kind of plane. But is it more of a plane? Anyway, that's never stopped us before, so yeah, let's do that. Now I'm gonna do the angle of the bevel just like every plane that I have, I guess. Kind of a 20-25 degrees first bevel, whatever you call it, and then 30 degrees, around 30 degrees of a secondary bevel. Now I know that the filing is not the most thrilling pieces of media, nothing that a nice montage cannot fix. Okay, I think that's about enough. Yes, no, yes, maybe. All right. Let's do the corners and the round. Right, so I'm gonna cut the body from this piece of oak, just in case. Yeah, go. Now I know that sewing is not the most thrilling pieces of media, nothing that a nice montage cannot fix. Actually, on second thought, I think I'm just gonna use this already squared up piece of stuff. No, really. Yeah, this, I've noticed while I was cutting and planing that since it's really close to the edge of the wood, this oak is super light. I mean, ridiculously light, like almost like a pine or something. I suppose that in this area the oak will be a little bit harder, but I have a whole bunch of knots and all of that. Anyway, long story short, I decided to go with, at any rate, I thought I would go with the more, I guess, appropriate type of wood, which is this one. This is like a beech wood or something like that. Yeah, I think it should be nice. Hey, fancy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cheat a little bit. Normally you would make you just chisel out the slot that will accept blade and chip breaker and all of that. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to slice a thin side of this stock, and then I'm gonna saw down the, I don't know, the gaps, the holes that I need to get the blades inside, and then I'm gonna just glue it back in. And it should be relatively seamless, but we'll see. Whew, it's always a risk when I do that. But it looks like it worked. So I screwed up a little bit. Yeah. What happened was that I kind of wanted to split the wedge, and thing that I worked in the first cut off worked really nicely. It didn't work at all in the second one, and I got like a completely a disaster from. Yeah, I think we can glue this back together now. So you know when something really bothers you, and you keep on working trying to fix it, and it just make everything worse. Well, that's what I'm going. That's what I'm going to do now. Try to make it disappear. Now, in theory, this should already work, but I haven't done it like a traditional plane or like a non-traditional plane for that matter. But I'm gonna make a wedge for this. Now, I know that originally you make a wedge from metal. I don't know, I find wooden wedge to be very effective. And if they don't work, I can throw them out and make a new one. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so we have 2 blades, 2 wedges. Now the thing is, they are going to kind of interrupt each other because this is a flatbed at the moment, and yeah, they're gonna kind of interfere with the flatness. So what I thought, well, after I clean this up a bit because it's a little dirty, is that I would make the sole ever so slightly split to two areas, so we can kind of switch between the blades. So essentially it's gonna be like two planes working in cahoots. So yeah, let's clean it up a little bit, make it presentable, and we should be good to go. Now, traditionally, the way that the Japanese kind of plane is constructed is that it has kind of weird slopes in different, well, no, they're not weird, but they have kind of slopes in and behind the mouth of the plane. But I think since it's a relatively small plane, I don't think we really do need to do that, but we'll see about that. But there's a little bit of gap on each side. I'm trying to rock it from side to side, and the light stops in the middle, kind of. That's the idea. Just wanted to give you a quick look at my shellac jar, and you might be thinking, why does it look like that? But every piano shellacker or polisher has like this giant monster goblin kind of a jar made of shellac, old shellac from 100 years ago. So I don't know about you, but I do 1 + 1, and I should be, by just the amount of shellac on this jar, be a professional piano polisher. Basically, I'm gonna just use the shellac as a sanding sealer, nothing much more than that. I like the way it complements the wood. After that, we're gonna put some wax on this. I don't know if I should put on the back. I will put on the back because why not? I'm gonna sand it anyway. Alright. Now we can put our signature. Beautiful. Okay. I mean, cannot say it doesn't work, I guess. I have a feeling that I'm making a huge belly. Alright, let's try it with something a little bit thicker. Now I've noticed something very interesting or problematic that can make things a bit more difficult with this kind of plane, is that when I tap one of the blades, one of the irons out, it drives the secondary iron back in because they're countering each other, basically. So it's very much of a balancing act between like tapping this blade in, which can ultimately drive this one out a little bit, but not really. But I need to kind of like take this out while this one goes a little bit in. So we'll try a little bit of a finer cut this time. Whoops. If you want to introduce your wood a huge amount of twist, that's the plane for you, absolutely. So to be honest with you, I'm really surprised how well this works. I mean, as stupid of an idea this is, and as nightmarishly difficult it is to tune up, it does work after you get it right, and it works pretty darn well. This will definitely see some use, I believe, you know, for chamfers, all sorts of, you know, breaking corners, maybe even just some planes. I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole double-sided routine or whatever, but there's something really special of working with some wood as opposed to metal, which is also pretty nice, but you know. Now I've also noticed that all of my saws go only in one direction. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? Introducing the double-sided saw. Okay, well, granted it's made out of brass, but you get the point across. It has teeth that goes in the middle, like towards the middle, I guess. I don't know if you can see it on camera. But, well, let me get a little bit more leverage. As you can see, the sawdust is coming out on both directions as you would want. And the cuts are, so it's very, very quick and fast. Anyway, you get the point. Yeah, I just thought it would be funny to make also a tiny double-sided saw. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've learned a lot just on how to make planes properly. This was more difficult than I expected it to be, but in the end it worked out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time.